We're just asking right now for schools, businesses, faith-based organizations to take precautions that they can.
Now, in the case of an outbreak of COVID-19, feeding school kids will be a big concern all over our state. According to the State Board of Education, about a third of the student body is on free or reduced lunch. ABC4's Jason Wynn now shows us how the state is trying to make it easier for districts to distribute food.
School districts are coming up with contingency plans to feed students if a COVID-19 outbreak occurs in Utah.
But if it gets worse and we actually start looking at school closures, we just filed 4 waiver requests with the Department of Agriculture to allow us some flexibility with the school lunch program so we can keep that going.
The Utah Board of Education reports more than 54 million free or reduced lunches are given out to students each year, meaning more than 330,000 students rely on schools each day for a balanced meal.
So this is a fairly substantial piece of how kids eat in the state of Utah.
2 of the waivers, if approved, would allow schools to distribute food outside of the cafeterias. One alternative school districts may need to look at when providing food to students is holding them in an open-air environment, like a park.
When you bring all the kids together in a cafeteria, that's sort of counterproductive to having the school closed.
One waiver would address the requirements for school lunches.
If we don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables that should be there, can we put in applesauce in its place? If we can't get milk or juice, can we put water in its place and still have it work?
Another waiver would allow schools in the area that don't meet the requirements of a high-need school to cover lunch meals for students affected by the COVID-19 closures. In Salt Lake City, I'm Jason Wynn, ABC4 News.
Now, if all 4 waivers are approved, the State Board of Education will advise school districts of the new flexibility.